Wow, I am shocked at this tool because this is one of the first times I feel like a tool has really tried to inch closer to copying the Leatherman Free P4. Now, I've been surprised that we haven't been seeing more Leatherman free clones. Now, of course, there is the SQT, which has sort of the pattern on the outside, but it's basically still a Leatherman charge. And there was this one, this Swiss Tech one, but this again, I mean, the whole design of it isn't that super close to the P4. But when we look at the Pursuit 17-in-1 multi-tool, definitely you can see there's the design here at the bottom. There's the pocket clip. And then again, you have your outside tools. And to some extent, some of the inside tools mimic the Free P4, unfortunately. So we might actually rather some of the tools we see on some of the other overseas tools rather than tools copying the P4 to some extent. We'll get into that in a little bit. All right, so I wanted to say a quick thanks to Tool Tech Geek for putting out a short video, and then he mentioned this tool. Then I went to Cabela's, which is where you can order this, Cabela's, or have it shipped to your house, I believe, online. And this comes in at $19. Now, $19 includes a fabulous pouch, and I'm joking about that. It's a very minimalist pouch, pretty much your standard everyday run-of-the-mill pouch, but you do get a light, and the light has different modes. So again, it's a little bit of a cheap headlamp, but it still has plenty of features for most of us, and it is a fairly simple headlamp right there. And so if you like things like that, there you go. And so for $20, I feel like this is actually a fairly good deal. Now, what we have, let's talk about the handles real quick, is titanium handles. Are they titanium? Well, no, they're titanium coated. And so this comes in at 9.8 ounces or around 277 grams. Now, to reference, the Free P4 comes in about 1 ounce less, 8.6 ounces. So that's where that stands. All right, now when we open this up, again, we have, it does reek a little bit of budget multi-tool. We have spring load pliers, which is fine, but then we do have these non-replaceable wire cutters. We have the plier tip meets okay at the end. I don't have any issues with that. And there's no dedicated crimper. I don't think that will disappoint that many people. You've got some sort of unique, different, some people would say weird design cues on the plier. For some of you, that will probably frustrate you because you may think that weakens the plier head, and it may. So keep that in mind. That's all things that sort of remind you this is sub $20. So don't expect a miracle on this tool. Now, when we get to the saw, again, it looks more like a budget saw right here. And there's 4 longer tools and they all lock and the rest don't. So not really sure what's going on with that, but that's how it is. And then we've got the file, except it's not the file on this side. You've got a 2-inch ruler, more of a depth gauge, and then centimeters. Then you've got a screwdriver that may break due to the file hardness, but that's what you have. Then you've got this file that doesn't look extremely great, probably my least favorite of the outside or the longer tools. So we have the knife right here, and again, more of a budget looking knife. It seems to be the modern design that we're seeing a lot of these more budget tools. And then we do have the scissors. And again, these are more of your dolphin style scissors right here, more of the safety scissors. And they do cut. So I was cutting different things with this. And so they cut like zip ties right here. But I do feel like the longer I cut with them, they dull fairly easy. So you may need to sharpen these scissors. And I don't know that that's probably not a fun task. You can cut through paracord, but it's not extremely easy. And then when it comes to things like rubber, it does cut through the bike inner tube. And then I did notice that it does cut finer plastic as well. So this is some of the packaging, and it does cut just fine through that. So the scissors overall aren't bad. It's just I have come to expect almost spectacular scissors from a lot of these budget tools. And I would not say that these are spectacular. They're just okay. Now, when it comes to the inside tools, beware, because they can very easily chip your fingernails, which they have done. And no, they did not cut me. I cut myself changing brakes tonight. But so this can be a little bit tricky. All right, so let's look at these tools. What we have is pretty much like a reamer, maybe more than an awl, but I guess you could use it for both. So a little different right there. And then we have almost more of a strap cutter, except it's very small. So it does have a bit of a blade right there. And I did cut a zip tie, but you have to use a lot of force. I didn't really want to try that on camera. And then you do have this Phillips, which I guess generous would be two-dimensional. It's almost more of a one-dimensional Phillips. It doesn't look that great, but that's what you've got. Now on the other side, things look up a little bit. I do like this side a little bit more. We do have a larger flat screwdriver, which I do find those useful sometimes with a bottle cap lifter. We do have the can opener, but the saving grace is it does have this little tiny, more of a micro screwdriver on the end of this can opener. Again, I don't use can openers hardly ever. And then we do have this strap cutter, which I actually do find that useful. So I believe we cut a little tear in this plastic somewhere. Let's go ahead and, there we go, put this, and I think I might need to go the other way. And there we go. And then it does slice right through. So again, it's easier when you do, and it's not just loose and shaking around, but I actually did find that this package opener works pretty good actually. So pretty happy with that. All right, so what do we think about this tool? Is it a Leatherman P4? Absolutely not. Is it competition? Absolutely not. This is a sub $20 multi-tool. Again, if you have a Cabela's credit card and you rack up points, I got this for $10. So this is very, very cheap. I do think it's got some unique features in that it does have the overall architecture that looks a little bit more like the P4. Again, I like the outside opening tools. The unfortunate thing is that the inner tools open really hard and they don't lock. So that's unfortunate. But again, it's $20. So I keep coming back to that. For a $20 tool, it's not too bad. Let me know what you think, and I'll enjoy reading your comments.